crochet tag time. Oh, I'm actually so excited to do this. Oh, such a nice day as well. Oh my god, but it's still cold. It's still so cold. Hello everyone. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna get comfy on my couch. Welcome back to my channel. It's lovely to see you here. Okay, so this is a really fun one. I've actually been tagged to do a crochet tag. You're it. It's like a Q&A. It's got like some, what is it called? Crochet Tag Questions. I think there's like a total of 10 questions. As far as I know, another creator has created this tag and has been just kind of like, everybody's just been like tagging each other, and I was tagged by Killian, aka Viney Maple. Thank you so much for tagging me. I really appreciate it, and I just love doing a sit down Q&A, and I loved watching your video, and so I was like, yeah, I'll give it a go. Of course, I'll leave a link down below in case you want to check her out. She's really cool. She does really cool videos. So this is probably a good time for you to go and grab a beverage. Maybe your crochet project, crochet or knit, we don't judge here, we do both. I love both. I will be working on something, but ironically, it's not a crochet project. And by the time you see this video, hopefully I will have the full length video up on my channel. I call it the father-in-law sweater. So this is actually a knit sweater, self-drafted knit sweater that I will pop a picture up on screen. It was a recreation of a sweater that my father-in-law wore in the 90s, and I made it for my husband. I need to fix up the ribbing at the bottom. Since I'm not working on something that's crochet, I'm actually wearing something that I've crocheted. I also made this for my husband like last year, I think. I call it my Blue's Clues sweater. Also self-drafted, not followed a pattern or anything, but I am wearing a lovely crochet sweater for you to make up for it. I think I better get into the first question. How did you learn to crochet? So I learned to crochet, and I've actually told this story before in another video. But basically I was taught to crochet from one of my very good friends in high school. I must have been like 14 at the time, something like that. Who I am still very good friends with right now at the moment. I'm very grateful for that. But she came to school one day, and I remember she was just crocheting away and in the playground, whatever. And I remember she made like a little basket, or maybe like a little flower, something like that. And I was intrigued. I was like, what is that? And at that point, I didn't have a phone. Most of the kids at school did not have a phone. We had internet at home, but like we had like one computer. I was never on the internet. I think I might have gotten an iPad recently, but I don't know. I genuinely did not know what crochet was. And she's like, it's crochet. Would you like me to teach you? I was like, yes, please. And so during class, or like on the playground, she taught me how to crochet. I can't really remember what she taught me to crochet. It might have been like a little flower or a little bow or something like that, and I loved it. She's like, wow, you're really getting it like really fast within like one day. That's all I was doing that day. It came easy to me, I guess. And so she was like, do you want to keep on practicing? Do you want to get better at it? Do you want to keep practicing? I'm like, yeah, I'll just have to like buy my own yarn and my own hook. And she's like, no, you just like, she literally only brought one hook to school that day, I think. And she was like, no, you take this hook and you take it home and you can just keep practicing. Like, it's yours now. And I literally still have that hook to this day. I use it for almost everything. It's like a bright greeny blue metal one. But in my other video, I also mentioned the fact that it was so kind of her to let me keep that, because usually those crochet hooks come in like a set. Like if you know the metallic, the really bright metallic colorful ones, they usually come in like a big set, and the fact that she would be missing one hook to give it to me so that I would be able to do that, because I didn't know where to buy hooks from. But yeah, I will never ever forget how kind of a gesture that was, that she took her time out of her day to teach me a skill that she herself had only been doing for a few months, I think. I don't know, I could be wrong about that. But she taught me how to do that, and she was so lovely with it. She was so kind and patient. I thank her very much, because that is what sparked this sense of creativity in terms of like fiber arts and crochet in particular. So that is how I learned how to crochet. What's your favorite thing to crochet? My favorite thing to crochet, I like crocheting things that lay and drape very nicely. Crochet has the habit of like being very stiff sometimes. And so I love crocheting anything that will just mimic like a nice garment. And so I really enjoyed crocheting this jumper, and the way that it sits, it often gets mistaken for knitting just because the way that I made it and the stitches that I used were so loose, I guess, and it kind of drapes nicely. I actually haven't even blocked this. So yeah, I love making things that look really nice and flowy, I don't know. So I guess my favorite thing to make would be like big garments, but although I haven't really made too many, one of my least favorite things to crochet is actually granny squares. And I know that a lot of people I follow also online, they also say they don't like the look of granny squares, and I can kind of understand. It's like, it's very boxy, right? I have made a vest. I'll pop it up on screen. I have made a vest of granny squares, but in that case, it was a replica of something, so I was like, whatever. But that's probably my least favorite thing. I'm getting so off topic right now. Yeah. I was saying before that one of my favorite things about crochet is that you can just make it so quickly, and also you can make a lot of like really bright things just so fast, and I don't know, but also sometimes it's kind of cool to make like wacky sort of things. And but I'm primarily the sort of person that makes wearable things. Like, I've never really gotten to origami accessories and stuff too much. I probably should get into it because it's just, you can make it so quickly, but I don't know. I'm a really big fan of making like really big, large pieces. I don't know if that was a good enough answer, but I feel like I went all off topic quite a lot, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard to choose. Okay. So if you could only use one yarn for the rest of your life, what would it be? I feel like that's such a hard question because different projects require different yarn, and like, I'm not only just making one sort of thing for the rest of my life. But one of the nicest yarns that I've come across is actually, once again, the yarn that I made this jumper out of. It's actually baby alpaca wool. It is the softest and the warmest and one of the most expensive yarns that I've ever come across and used. I would 100%, and I'm going to 100% use this again. The only thing about it is that it peels so much. Like, I don't know if you can see that, but there's just fluffs coming out. But then again, I love using merino because you can get so incredibly detailed with it, even in crochet, and it doesn't peel too much. It's not super heavy. It's not super warm. It's very warm, but it's not super warm. So you can probably get away with wearing it in the spring. And also, compared to this, merino is so much cheaper. So although I would like to say the alpaca yarn, realistically and financially and just practically, I probably have to go with merino. Merino magic, 8-ply. What is the weirdest thing you've ever made? If I had to say like weird, although I still don't really consider it weird, it would probably be my Beetlejuice sandworm, just because I made it and it's just been like sitting around, and whenever people like see it, they're just like, why on earth did you make that? Like, I didn't even make it for a costume or anything. I know I did end up wearing a costume in the video that featured it on my channel, but I didn't actually go out in that costume. Like, I just made it because I wanted to make it. I remember I made it when the new Beetlejuice movie was coming out, so I thought that people would enjoy that. So that's probably the weirdest in terms of like, you know, people are just like, why? Why would you make that? But yeah, anyway, yeah, that would probably be it. Nothing special. I didn't use a pattern for that either. I kind of just, it turned out like so much bigger than I thought it would as well. Funny thing about that is I filmed the whole process of me making that, and then my SD card just went corrupt and all of that footage was just gone. What is something you'll never crochet? I feel like this is going to be another really quick question as well. Something that I'll never crochet, or And it's not because I don't like it. Like when I see other people make it, I genuinely love it and it's so creative, but I don't see myself, I might do it in the future, so I have no idea, but I don't really see myself crocheting tapestry art to like hang on the walls and stuff. Unless it's for like a specific theme or for a gift. Tapestry crochet is something that has genuinely never really interested me much. I guess I've actually just never tried it. Yeah, other than that, I can't really think of anything else. Origami also doesn't really interest me, but I think I would definitely try it sometime in the future. Tapestry, it's just like, I love making things that seem very practical and that I can use, that I can wear. So I guess that's another reason why. Oh, no, but then some things I've made that just literally sit there. So I don't know. I just never really got interested in that topic. So where do you get your inspiration? Okay, so the majority of my inspiration and like the people that I watch and just get inspiration from are all on YouTube. So I do get a lot of inspiration from, well, because being a YouTuber as well, like I just love seeing what other YouTubers are up to and what they make and their process of making and stuff. That's why I love YouTube. And that's why also I love creating videos as well. But other than YouTube, definitely not TikTok. I hardly use TikTok. TikTok is like, it's actually awful for trying to get inspiration sometimes. Maybe my algorithm is just stuffed up because I'm like never on it, but I feel like I'm only getting like drama and people just like chatting at the screen. Whereas something like Instagram, at least maybe because I use it a little bit more and I follow a lot of creators there, I'm always checking on their posts and their stories and stuff. I get a lot of fiber arts inspiration from Instagram, I would say. Pictures and videos, probably especially reels, yeah. So definitely 100% YouTube, the majority. I think one of the biggest creators that really got me into crochet and knitting in terms of like watching the process is I think it's pronounced Ikoshun. So she made a video, I'm talking about like years ago. She made a video where she made the Harry Styles patchwork cardigan or something, and that's what kind of got me into like, oh wow, people are processing their crochet projects and it's like so cool. And then I remember when I first moved out of my parents' home, this was years ago, I got really into someone named Lisa's Knitting Club. I used to love watching her because she was quite chatty as well, like she would talk a lot. I think she does crochet too. So yeah, probably my two biggest inspirations. When I first got into crochet, I think my nan, but mostly my grandmother on my mom's side, she was a big inspiration for me because she would always just like give me more and more yarn and be like, make something with this. I want to see you make something with this. So like, she was a big encouragement for me. She didn't really get to see my progress in crochet because she did pass away not too long after I started doing all the crochet, but you know, I guess I did take inspiration from her and she did like crocheting and stuff. So favorite thing you've made so far this year? Okay, so I know that this is a crochet tag, but my favorite thing that I've made this year is not crochet. It's knit. This is my favorite thing that I've made this year. It's taken me the longest. It's obviously this is magnificent. Like, it's turned out so well, in my opinion. But in terms of crochet, definitely my favorite thing that I've made this year was, I did a 24-hour crochet scrunchie challenge, and I think I ended up making like 22-ish scrunchies, and now I literally have scrunchies in all of these different colors, and I match them with my outfits all the time. So that is probably my favorite crochet project endeavor that I made this year. It definitely brings me the most joy, and I do get a lot of compliments and questions about them because they stand out a lot when you wear them in your outfits. So definitely. And they're so easy to make. Like, one scrunchie will take you like an hour or an hour and a half to make, depending on how large you want it. So yeah, it's my favorite. It's the most efficient, most fun, colorful, all that jazz. Crochet plans you're excited about for the future. If you know anything about me, you know that I actually don't really follow patterns. And so in saying that, I actually don't really have like a backlog or anything of actual patterns saved anywhere that I want to do. I am actually very excited about doing some more crochet pieces in the spring and the summer. I don't know, it's a lot easier to wear crochet in the hotter weather. And so I don't really have anything in particular. If I had to name a few things, probably just more scrunchies. And there's this one channel and Instagram account that I follow where she just does like the most beautiful crochet cutesy like cardigans and little shirts that like tie up. I'll put some pictures up on the screen if I can find it, and I'll put her name up somewhere, but I am just so in love with just such color. I want to be that one colorful gal in her crochet top, and I will gladly purchase her patterns so that I can make it, because they just look so fun. So yeah, I definitely have that in mind. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really have anything in particular that I want to make. So that's probably what I'm most excited for in terms of crochet for the end of this year. Okay, number 9, worst thing about crochet. The worst thing about crochet? I know that a lot of people would say that the worst thing about crochet is like the hand cramping, or I don't know, I've never really experienced like really bad hand cramps or anything like that, so definitely not that. Worst thing about crochet? Okay, I know I've said this a few times, but I know that a lot of people, me included, can kind of look at crochet and think that it looks a little bit tacky. It depends how you do it. And there's just so many different styles, right? Like, I love the look of like lace crochet, or I think it's called filet crochet or something like that. And that's like so intricate and it looks so beautiful and dainty. But then sometimes you get like these really chunky sort of granny square looking things, and it's like, it's not my favorite. But if I had to say just one basic thing that I don't really like about crochet, and why I do tend to go to knitting in terms of the way that it looks a little bit more, is, yeah, it's the way that it looks. It's sometimes that combined with the way that it falls. So with this sweater, I made sure to use one of the longest stitches that I could. I think I did like a triple crochet or something, because I knew that if I did maybe single, I don't know, I could be wrong, but it would just be like too stiff. I don't like seeing, this is gonna sound so stupid, but I don't really like the look of, sometimes when you see crochet items that are meant to be like big block pieces, like say like this, right? And you can see the rows. I know you can still see the rows on this. Like, I'm not silly, I know you can still, but sometimes when they're just so prominent and you can see holes, I don't like the look of that. So yeah, I would say that the number one thing that I don't like about crochet is that it's very holey. Like, it's hard to make it nice and dense and nice and woven together, make it look solid. Like even now, you can still see the holes through this. Yeah, it's just very open, you know? Sometimes when I see little petite things, but then you can see the big rows and the big chunky stitches, I just feel like it takes away from, like, I can't think of any other word but tacky, but that's not the word. Like, it's still, I don't know. Like, I find that whenever I try to make something with crochet, I really try to make it as just tightly wound together as I can, unless that's how it's supposed to look. Like, I've made, like, you can't obviously do that for granny squares, you know? But yeah, I don't really know how to explain it better than that, but it's just like, when a crochet item is too open, spacey, holy, I don't know. That's the best I can explain. Yeah, that's probably, and if that's the worst thing that I can say about crochet, then that's not saying much. Number 10, my very lucky last. Favorite thing about crochet. I would 100% without a doubt say that my favorite thing about crochet is just how fast you can make something. Just how fast it like crochets up, you know? I could literally make an item within a day. Whereas when you start to learn how to knit, you're just like, holy crap, I never understood how fast crochet is, you know, like when you compare. I feel like maybe that's why a lot of the younger generation are taking to crochet a lot more now as well, because it's so easily accessible and it's just so quick to make. It's like that instant gratification almost, you know. Although obviously it does depend on what project you are doing. Like this sweater, I know I keep on referencing it, whatever. It took me a very long time to make, but nowhere near as long as it took me to make this colorwork sweater, you know. But then again, they're two very different things and whatever, but yeah. But I just love that if I find a pattern online, like if I want to make a beanie and I've got the yarn, I could literally make it with less than 2 hours if I know what I'm doing, right? So I would definitely have to say that it's the fact that you can just make things so quickly, so efficiently. You know what else I like about it? It's also very easy in terms of increasing, decreasing, shaping and stuff. Like with knitting, I swear to God, every time I do a project, I have to look up like a million different tutorials because I cannot remember how to like decrease or increase or do like all these crazy things. But with crochet, I hardly ever need to use a pattern because I'm just like, well, I know how to decrease, I know how to increase, like, and so although you can do a lot of more intricate things, it's so easy to learn just the basics and get on with it and, you know, start actually making things super quick. Crochet is the sort of thing where you can learn it, like how I said, learn it in one day and make something worth keeping in like one day. As you can imagine, I have hardly got anything of this done. Oh, a little bit more than I expected actually. I got this much done. It's not looking too bad. That has to be completed after I film this or another day. And that is the end of my crochet tag video. Thank you once again, Killian, for tagging me in this. I had lots of fun. You know me, I love to yap. And I got a little bit of work done in the process. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed watching and getting to know a little bit more about me. Thank you for being here. I will be tagging, I don't know how many people, but I will be tagging more people down below. So if you're interested in seeing their videos, go check that out. Had lots of fun. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a lovely day, lovely night, wherever you are in this world. Let me know down below what you were working on. I would really like to know. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you like, join our little community here on YouTube, and I'll see you in my next video.